to the channel once again, and welcome to a brand new video. Now today you join me inside a car that is very controversial for two reasons, which I'll get into later. But we're inside the Mercedes AMG C43, so that is the W206 generation. This video comes courtesy of the guys over at Faro Auto Investments. Big thanks to them. You're probably familiar with Faro. They are like one of the biggest car dealerships in the country. So yeah, I'm doing my first review with Faro, which is very exciting. So let's get into the C43. Let's get into why it's controversial, but I want to sideline all of those and just experience the car for what it is, because you already know the story of the new C43 and C63 going hybrid and downsizing to a 2-liter motor. So I really do hope you guys enjoy this one. Let's get right into it.
As I woke up in the morning, just thinking about this night. As I woke up in the morning, just thinking about this night.
This car has the 9-speed wet clutch transmission, so it's improved from the previous C43's regular 9G Tronic, which is just a torque converter. So third gear, second gear. Oh geez, very cool. One thing that I noticed instantly, so AMG have apparently put like a microphone into the exhaust or the engine bay that picks up the sound and pumps it into the cabin. But what I noticed is it doesn't interfere with the actual sound that comes from the exhaust. So you can still hear the exhaust pretty clearly, and it's pretty loud. Downshifts are not the fastest, but I don't know, I can't fault them in any way. Maybe if you go to like a Porsche with a PDK, that's faster, but nothing too bad honestly on this car. It gets so loud into the cabin. The other nice thing is we're currently driving on pretty much a bad tarmac or surface, but the ride comfort is so amazing. Even the sound insulation, like there is nothing that's coming into this cabin. That is actually very, very impressive. So let's get into the controversial bits. Now the previous Gen C43 had a V6 motor that sounded so sweet and so symphonic. Now this new C43 does away with that. In comes a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder motor borrowed from the A45S. So it's powered by the M139, also paired up with a battery system, so it's a hybrid. And in total you get 300 kilowatts, but the car has an overboost function from the battery system that pumps it up to 310 kilowatts. So that is about 408 horsepower before you get to the overboost, and 421 horsepower with the overboost, and 500 newton meters of torque. So it actually has a bit less torque than the V6 C43 by about 20 newton meters. The major improvement with this new C43 is the driving dynamics. Now the previous C43 cars were somewhat of like AMG light cars, more like a suggestive AMG. Like it wasn't a full-on AMG. With this one they've went all out, particularly when it comes to the chassis, the handling of the car, the bracing. So there's quite a lot of bracing on the chassis, beneath the car, on the sides, pretty much all over. So handling wise, it feels a lot sharper than the previous one. raucous and so exciting. Like, listen to this. Just scared of speed humps here where I'm driving. And the other thing is, I can't imagine what the C63 is like, because that has so much more power. I think around 500 kilowatts. But do you actually need any of that? Because they have pretty much the exact same engine, and the C63 just has more power. Maybe slight differences here and there in the setup of the handling and stuff, chassis, suspension, I don't know. But this car just makes sense as a daily. Like, if you need something that's pretty comfortable, very luxurious, sporty enough for day-to-day driving, this car does pretty much everything you need it to do. And it kind of feels like a more practical sedan-ish A45S, which, if you think about it, it kind of is that. And also more luxurious inside. The A45S is just a bit more edgy and a bit sharper to drive for obvious reasons. It's smaller, it's lighter, and it's a full-on AMG. So that would be basically more exciting to drive than this car, but just a tiny bit. So guys, a quick exterior rundown. I have to say, this thing looks beautiful and aggressive at the same time. So up front you have the AMG specific grille, which is the Panamericana grille, and new AMG models have this Afalta back badge right there instead of the normal Mercedes 3-point star badge. So yeah, looks mean, looks aggressive. AMG power domes on the bonnet, LED high performance lights, but you can further upgrade to the digital lights. The lower apron area doesn't look all too aggressive. I think they reserved that for the full-on C63. Just has more aggressive intakes down there, so it's still somewhat of a sleeper in a way. You've got these cool looking multi-spoke 19-inch rims all around with white AMG branded brake calipers, turbo electrified badge on the fender, just letting you know what car this is. Very aggressive side skirts, pretty cool looking. If you come around more to the back, there is a little tiny gurney flap spoiler, just making it look more interesting and aggressive. Quad tailpipes, a sort of rear diffuser going on. I don't really like this chrome strip here. I think I would black that out, but AMG C43 badging. And let's check out the interior. So AMG door kick plates down there, AMG branding rather. You've got these cool looking sport seats, which are half leather, half Alcantara. This middle bit is Alcantara. If I just hop inside, I'll probably have to put the car on to run through some of the stuff. AMG specific steering wheel, and I do love how the steering wheel looks. It just looks so cool. There is a lot going on with the steering wheel, but yeah, it just looks so sporty. Massive gear shift pedals. I mean, look at that. It's just absolutely cool. You have these two drive mode selectors. On the right, it's actually the drive mode selector. You can switch from, well, slippery, individual, comfort, sport plus, and you don't get race mode because this is not a full-on AMG. On this side, you can change stuff like switching between drive and manual mode for the gearbox, traction control, auto start stop. You can switch it on and off. AMG dynamics, and you can switch on and off traction control. You can also switch between the different suspension settings, so comfort, sport plus, and so forth. I quite love how the instrument cluster looks. It just looks, the resolution is so high. It's just so cool. Even when you're driving, there's a lot going on. You can switch to different displays. As you can see, that's one display. That's classic right there, but I just keep it here by super sport. And also the cool thing with super sport is when you rev it, like the rev counter has like flames. You can see there, that looks cool. You can see the flames, so that looks absolutely cool. I'm not really gonna dwell into this infotainment screen. I've reviewed the normal C-Class, and it has pretty much the same infotainment screen except this AMG performance menu. So here you can see the different driving modes you're in. You can see the amount of power and torque you're using. There's also the IWC clock that you can use as a stopwatch on track, and also consumption, things you don't really care about in an AMG. I mean the consumption stuff. So yeah, one of the best infotainment screens in the auto industry, simply because it looks beautiful and it's easy to use. The resolution is quite high. Climate controls are always embedded here at the bottom. They're inbuilt into the screen, but they're always visible. Nice materials here lined on the dashboard. I think you can also go for carbon fiber. This being an AMG, it is littered with nice AMG soft Napa leather, and this one has the red stitching. I think you can also go for the yellow pack, where you'll also get the seat belts in yellow. This one has the red because it has the red pack. There is some hints of red stitching on the seats as well, even on the center console. The interior does feel very sporty, simply because of the materials that they letter it with. So you do have nice creature comforts like electric memory seats, which are also heated. Nice quality everywhere, and yeah, I do quite like this interior. Feels very sporty, feels very luxurious. So the other interesting bit is the turbocharger actually adopts like F1 technology. There is a tiny little electric motor within the housing of the turbo to help it spool up before you even go onto the accelerator, basically to reduce turbo lag, to give you instantaneous response from the engine. So I think overall I don't have much of a problem with the C43. The C63 maybe, because it has become so synonymous with the V8 over the years because of generations like the W204, even the 205. So with the C63, I'd say yes, I do get the fuss why they've downsized to the 2-liter, but with the C43, not so much. Steering input also is quite good. Not too light, not too heavy, just right. Oh jeez man, this thing actually sounds so amazing. The cracks and pops you get from the exhaust. Jeez. Oh jeez man. Oh, there is an abundant amount of power here. Jeez, this is actually it is insanely fast. Oh my goodness. Wow. So let's just do one last proper pull here. Oh man. It sounds amazing. Let me try to lower my window a bit here if we can hear more of that. That exhaust just sounds so crazy. Listen to this.